So we're going to start. By the way, for the substrate, I am using Mr. Aqua soil, and the reason why I like sticking with this, it's clean. It does not release ammonia when you put it into the water, unlike the ADA soil. I have a cycled filter that's been running on another tank that I'm going to put on there. So in the day, I'm going to be putting fish right away. So I have a complete Heimcaster filter that's been running for 2 months on a cycled tank, so it's very well cycled. But the Mr. Aqua soil does not crumble, does not turn into mush. Even when you dry it and take it out of the tank and come back up, it still stays in the same shape. It also will buffer the water down slightly. So it'll give it a little bit slightly acidic, down to the 6.5, 6.8, 7.0, depending on how hard your water is. That's critical because plants and tropical fish like the softer water, not the harder water. If you're doing a cichlid tank, then you would not use this. So we're going to use this, and it's going to be fun.
That's the small grain, right?
Now here I had mixed and had dried some fluoride in here, which is why you see the dust. Normally aqua soil is completely dustless, but in this type of scape, I'm reusing some of the items that I had before. Normally you wouldn't have any dust.
And fluoride?
Normally, what I like doing is putting the fluoride at the very bottom. There's very little of it here in it. But what I would do in this, I would take my unrinsed fluoride and build the back 1.5 to 2 inches. Especially if I want a really back slope. Then I would do the rest on the Mr. Aqua because the fluoride, once you put water, it's going to dust up. So by capping it with 1.5 to 2 inches of the Mr. Aqua, it's going to keep it nice and dustless. Yes, they're called autos. And I really want to have this feature with these guys standing very vertical.
Look good.
How's that? So remember, I only seen the back of the tank. I can't see the front. Well, if it doesn't look good, I'll put on the YouTube comments, my audience steered me the wrong way. All right. You know, I don't like it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. We can either plant them one by one with tweezers, or we can buy them on lava rock. Now, this is the trick that Takashi Amano, he grows most of his ground covers, has the nurseries growing all on lava rock. But what will happen is that these guys are carpeting, and you put them so there is enough soil in between. And you grab some of your soil, fill it in, and then they'll grow over. Okay, now some of the leaves are going to lose because these are grown immersed. They got to turn into their unimmersed format, so there's going to be melt. But by having them this, it allows you for a more uniform coverage. You can quickly make the tank look like something instead of waiting, you know, for a couple months or doing the dry start method. Now what I'm going to do, baby tears likes a lot of light. So I don't know if you noticed, there is about 6 inches of height in this middle section. I chose this for me to put my baby tears, because I want these guys to get the most amount of light, the most amount of water flow, so that I could get the best chance of making them grow into what I want them to do. So one of the things that we want to do is to make sure that we move the soil so that it's touching on all sides of where the baby tears, so that they'll start growing and rooting and crawling along the spaces. My Riccia in the middle there, where it's going to be easy for me to grab, but it's going to be a focus point when people want to see it. Remember, this is also a demonstration tank. If you were to do this at home, you'd probably do a band of Riccia, not so close to the glass. You want another ground cover to be in front of it, so you hide the mesh and the clay. Now, oddly enough, they make the ceramic the same color of most popular substrates. There's a reason for that, so it hides better. Now, the clover comes in pots. I've already taken them out of the pots, removed the wool, and they form a very hard runner system. It's almost hard pulling them apart, but it's okay. The plant, each of them are individual, and that's about as size as you want to pull them out when you grow them. You want to make plugs. And these guys grow very linear. So instead of spreading this way, they kind of spread this way on runners, kind of like Java fern does. And because of that, I like growing them along the wall edge of the stones. So here I'm going to have gloss at the bottom. I'm going to make a like an edge growing along the front edge of the stones. So that way it'll grow this way. And it'll break up the pattern in the different coloring. This has got it'll have a different texture as well. Now, if you recall, we use giant 4-leaf clover into this aquascape in the middle. You can buy it in a pot, or they now sell it in a wire mesh, which adds some weight to it. And you can trim it with clippers. And the nice thing is, if you're going to do a covered background, I just trim these. These actually come one piece like this. I have them there for sale. I trimmed them in half, so it'll allow me to create my background of hair grass.